Andrew Caldwell on set. That's what we're doing.
Nice. Fuck yeah. Because this is a set.
Fuck yeah, it is, dude.
We cuss on this podcast?
Fuck yeah, we do, dude.
Nice. Okay, good. I was worried about that.
3, 2, 1. You're now live.
Boom.
Says.
But right now, it should tell you, is anybody, like, no one's joined yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. So our goal
I'm
here.
going to comment with the @.
If we could just get like one person, I would feel pretty stoked.
Yeah.
I've never gone live for the fear that just no one's going to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It would be pretty.
Someone will watch. Somebody will watch.
Nobody's watching right now.
It's embarrassing. Yeah. It's pretty embarrassing.
What do you think, Raina?
Raina's watching. Well, maybe just post it up, leave it up there. We'll see, dude. What if halfway through you check it, you're like, there are 5,000 people watching this right now.
We've got Linda.
Linda. Oh, Linda. Of course. We know Linda.
We love Linda.
What's up, Linda?
Congrats, Linda.
Congrats, Linda. Actor of the month. Actor of multiple months, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Yeah, I don't know how live we're going to go.
Well, let's just, whatever, man.
Or whatever.
Whatever.
What's up, everybody?
There we go. You want me to?
Am I on there?
Yeah, you're on there. I'll hold it.
All right.
What do we got? We got 2 people now. We got Linda and Austin, another one of the teammates here, dude.
Excellent.
Guys, comment whether you're a Tuesday Night Titan or a Saturday OG. Let's do it. Let's see.
Saturday OG.
Yeah, we've created
Tuesday
beef.
Night Titan.
Yeah, we've created a rivalry.
Are those hashtags that you guys should be?
We're getting there. It's just not kind of. I've manifested this like rivalry between my 2 classes, which is just so funny, and they're so cool. They let Saturday OG Austin in the house.
That's awesome.
Linda, she's technically both for now, but
all right.
We're going back. Anyway,
Linda's hungry, man. She's great.
Linda's the best, dude. Linda's the best. Yeah,
you.
Linda is coming in with her daughter now, and I was like, that's fine. You know, I love it for sure, but like, we're splitting you guys up. Like, we need to because Linda's like her own woman in there, dude. Like, yeah, you can't have your kid there just cramping your style like that, Linda.
Oh, look. I've got a little mount right here.
Come on. It's almost as if you do podcasts in here.
It's like I do.
You could probably do the front cam too if you wanted. That way we can at least see what we're looking at.
Yeah, little
Flip it around.
Switch. There we go.
There it is.
Bang.
What do we got now? We got 7 now.
Couple of
No, it's still just 2.
couple amateurs. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
They lost. They're out. We're back.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Why not? Oops.
Yeah.
Now I just moved the GoPro.
Well,
Amateur.
maybe horizontal it. I don't know.
It's going to piss a lot of people off.
All 2 of the people. Yeah. Linda, do you care if we want to? I'm just kidding. Well, look, man.
There we go.
Oh, right on the money, right there.
Wow.
Linda, do I look thin?
Of course.
Great. All right. Well, cool. What's up, Linda? Austin? The squad? Squad showing up?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually podcasting, and we're podcasting live.
Good deal.
This is the first official live podcast with Andrew Lewis Caldwell.
What an honor, man. The first live podcast.
ALC Acting Studios.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's still funny hearing it.
Yeah. So
man.
this is a new business for you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, so when I was in LA, I would coach all the time. I had different times throughout my life at a studio, or I was constantly coaching and self-taping friends and stuff. And I did teach group classes several times, and they were awesome. And I got a huge thrill out of it. You know, I mean, I really enjoyed it, but it was different, you know, like I was kind of in LA doing it, and it was a different sort of feel. And it wasn't over just fully mine, you know? Mm-hmm. And so when I came here and I opened this thing up, you know, I didn't know necessarily about this big Buffalo film industry shift before I got here. I had no idea.
Really?
No idea. I found out on the drive here.
Come on.
I swear to God.
So wait, you just threw a dart at the map and said, "I'm going to go to Buffalo."
No,
I started acting.
I threw a dart in my wife, and we had a child. And we were living in LA. So
bullseye.
Yeah, you're right. So here's the full story. I mean, really what it was is like I've had this pretty long career as a working actor in Los Angeles.
Yes, you have.
And I've been super lucky.
Impressive career.
Thank you. And I've been super lucky, but like listen, you call it what it is, cuz the key to success in this business is being a realist, you know. I've allotted myself certain luxuries with what I've accomplished. Have I made millions of dollars, and do I own a house? No, not at all. But I know every casting director in the business. I know every producer, showrunner. They've met me, auditioned me, seen me. I have a great agency. I have a great manager. I don't necessarily have to be in LA to do exactly what I've been doing for the last 15, 16, 17, 18 years.
Sure. Especially with all the remote.
Yeah. And dude, I was doing
contact.
self-tapes prior to even the COVID sort of thing where that became the norm. That was just kind of what I like to do. And so if nothing else, I've earned the right to not have to live in the hustle and bustle of Los Angeles anymore.
Good for you, too.
So my wife is from Buffalo. Loves Buffalo, like everyone from Buffalo does. And we had always kind of talked about like, oh yeah, someday we'll like head back to Buffalo, someday. Yeah, maybe. I'm assuming once I have houses everywhere,
Sure.
And so we had our son, and we're in our house.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. 8 months old.
8 months old.
Yeah, he's already got an IMDb credit.
Nice.
Yep, he was in a movie before he was born.
Okay, good.
And
before he was born,
he was in My Wife, and he was in the movie, and they credit him in the movie.
No way.
Yeah. So we're kind of sitting in this house. We're brand new parents. We're in it's chaos, as you know. It's got this brand new baby.
Yeah.
And we're just like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? Like, we could go back. We could be close to family. We could have just a much chill. Nothing changes career-wise for me. Nothing. It's the exact same. Like, nothing changes. And we could just have an easier, cooler life, like in a real community. I mean, when you grow up in a place, even if that place is LA, you still burn out on it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I need to change anyway. Like, this just isn't work. I just want to be here anymore. And so
it just makes sense all the way around because, you need family around when you have a new baby. Yeah. Especially baby number one.
Yeah. And we live 3 minutes away from her sister. Like,
that's
it's just like,
amazing.
it just made sense. And so I had planned on teaching, because like, even if I had 7, 8 students, I love doing this.
Yeah.
And I love the results of this. When you're an actor, we're not in the business of results ever. We're in the business of effort and waiting and disappointment. I mean, it really is a very unfulfilling career.
Absolutely.
Sporadically
For
having moments of fulfillment, and then you get this false sense of self, and then you're right back to, unfulfilled. Yeah. So, the acting classes and what I do is so great because I do get that fulfillment. To the same degree. I could walk on the set of The Matrix and be sitting across from Keanu Reeves and doing a scene and get that thrill.
You could be, because you were.
Because I did.
Yes.
But that same thrill feeling I get from that, I shit you not, is the exact same feeling emotionally that I get when I watch one of my students have like that drop-in moment where like they get it and it clicks, or when they tell me they got something or they booked something or they're getting motivated or they're fired up about it. I know it sounds crazy, but it almost feels better. It's like I have a lot of friends that make music, and like I'll tell them like, man, I wish I'd have known music was an art form that I was into, because you can make a song, and whether anybody hears it or not, you at least have it to hold. It's there. It's tangible. Sure. Acting's not. You do an audition, you could work on it all you want. You could feel like it was this like super personal, great experience. But once that audition's over, you may never get that piece of art back.
Exactly.
Yeah. But for me, with these classes, I get that piece of art all night long. And not to toot my horn, but I feel like, and I will say, especially since teaching here, I'm very good at getting people that moment. When I have new people come to the class and I try to explain to them what it is that we do at my studio and what it is that we're trying to accomplish, it's a feeling. It's not a technique. Yeah. It's not a method that you learn step by step. It's a feeling that once you have it and you know how to get that feeling back, that's the pocket you ride in. We call it the drop in. Like once it's real, you're not acting anymore. Yeah. And I'm to the point now where I can look at new people.
You're definitely West Coast. You said the word drop in. So.
Yeah. But I'll look at people who are auditing the class for the first time and I'll try to explain it. They look at me like I'm crazy. And my older students are like, yep. Like, and I'm at a point now where I can look them dead in the eye and go, don't worry, you're going to feel it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And it happens every single time.
That's cool.
So I just get such a thrill out of it, dude. And like moving here and like bringing my family here. And like I said, finding out on the way here that there's this like booming film industry. While I was already planning to teach anyway, I was like, oh, wow. Like, what an opportunity for me. Exactly. I continued to act well past the age where it was a magical experience. You know, like being an actor.
What do you mean by that?
So when you first start out, it's you're auditioning and you're dreaming and you're hoping and you're booking, and then you set these goals for yourself, what it is you want to accomplish. And boy, I'd love to be on a sitcom, or boy, I'd love to have my own pilot.
You started when you were 15.
15.
Yeah.
And dude, and I was lucky. I got right to it. I mean, I moved out there, and it wasn't 6 months later I was booking stuff and working, so it was sick.
Who could say that?
Yeah, but listen, there was also dry spells of like a year straight where nothing happened. So I had to pay for it later. From 15 to 20, get out of here. I booked everything. But then, as it goes, it slows down and comes and ebbs and flows and whatever. But I was always lucky enough to keep working.
Yeah.
But as much as I loved acting and being an actor, what happened as the years went on is I started to love the process of creating art, films in particular, or TV shows, the whole thing. I liked writing, I liked producing, I liked hanging out with the grips and the lighting guys. I like the vibe, I like the experience. Again, I get the same thrill off of an independent comedy that we shoot for $100,000 as I do on The Matrix. It's the exact same thing. And so that's what I love to do. And so then when I get here and I find out that there's this booming industry on its way, I think to myself, like, wow, I could actually do something and be a part of something that's so much bigger than any like job I could book or like any show I'm on.
Right.
Like I could come to this place with my knowledge and my expertise and my genuine passion for this. Like I have no ulterior motive. There's nothing in it for me other than just sheer like joy and love for this and a legacy, man. Like I've been in movies. I've been on TV shows. I've been in magazines. My acting legacy will live on forever.
Yeah.
For the rest of time, you will be able to watch The Matrix 4, and there I am. So that was the goal. I did all that.
Speaking of The Matrix 4.
Yeah.
huge. And I want to talk more about that, but I'm going to end the live.
How much do we get any more?
So that people will tune in to this podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to give them everything for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye, Linda.
We're going to end the live podcast right now, but make sure to check out all of our episodes. We're up to episode 10 on this new podcast, Actorshpere. And we hope to have everyone go to our YouTube channel, our Instagram channel, what else do we have? We have a TikTok channel as well.
OnlyFans.
So, of course, the OF channel. And check us all out and subscribe and follow and
do it all.
We're about to talk about The Matrix. So, bye-bye, guys.
Bye, Linda. I think you just hit the X in the corner. Bang.
This X?
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. We're still going.
Say bye-bye, Raina.
Bye, Raina. You big doogie.
You're sweetheart.
She's such a sweet doogie.
Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Executive producer, Raina.
And bodyguard. Cool. All right.
Sure you want to end? No.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Share it. Yeah, for sure. Share that. Because then people will see that at least, and bingo.
Your Save My Videos are now Reels. Okay.
Thanks, Mark Zuckerberg.
Buffalo, I wonder if I can save a draft. I don't think I want to fuck around. I think I'm just going to share it.
Just do it. You can always rip it later.
Yeah. Yep, sharing. Okay, cool. All right, we'll continue our
so you were going to ask me about The Matrix. I was in the middle of talking about a revolution for the Western New York film industry, and you're like, cool, man, but let's talk about The Matrix.
Yeah, fuck all that.
No, I understand.
But no, honestly, I just did that because I wanted to end the live.
Sure.
And check the angle of the wide shot, the GoPro here, because I know I bumped it. Oh, not too bad. I reset it in a way that was A-okay.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful, Raina?
Pretty impressed. Yeah, I forgot I had this fucking thing. That was for FaceTime for Grandpa and Grandma.
Nice.
But now I have a different one for them, so yeah.
Yeah, we got one that we can attach to pretty much anything for Grandma.
Yeah.
Granny cam.
That's what we have too, is a suction cup octopus thing.
Nice. And we're back. Welcome back to Actorshpere. I'm your host, Dr. Andrew Lewis Caldwell.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You're going to hate that hard out at 7:30 because we're going to get on a roll and you're going to be like, shit.
I know. I do have a...
You're going to hate it. You're going to be so mad.
Well, hey, to be continued then.
Yeah, I guess,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good thing I did that because my ringer was on.
Uh-oh.
Goodness
That would have been
gracious.
super unprofessional.
Yeah. Which is par for the course for Paul's.
What do you do, man? Look what's your thing. I'm unprofessional.
Yeah, that's my...
I'm pretty unprofessional.
Unprofessional professional. I'm professionally unprofessional.
That's an Instagram handle.
Right? Look that up.
It's pretty good.
Let's grab it before we post it.
Right now. So, yeah, you were asking me about The Matrix.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to...
Of course.
We can go whatever way you want because you are on a fucking roll with that shit, man.
Yeah. Well, that's how I...
But I want to know about The Matrix. Fuck all that.
Sure, man. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
I'll tell you anything. I'll tell you too much, probably.
First of all, I mean, you set yourself up with a wonderful career, and you really like. How do you navigate all that when you're 15? Like, first of all, were you born and raised in the LA area?
No, I was born in Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
And my mom
I hear they have great water there.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Wow.
Bathe your children in it.
It's so upsetting.
It is. And I know a lot of people that have suffered with it, and it's rough.
Yeah.
But so I was in Flint, Michigan. My mom was a single mom, worked super hard, did hair, made good money. We're talking mid 90s, so she was killing it. And she was just like kind of super supportive, man. And like I went to this, I did one school play. It was literally one play that I did. Because I was ineligible for football because I failed drama class, believe it or not.
Oh.
So I couldn't play football, failed drama class, and then I auditioned for a school play as something to do. Booked a pretty great role in the school play. First time I'd ever acted ever.
What was the play?
It was called Who's Dying to Be a Millionaire. It was like a small little. I mean, I've never heard of it or seen it since. But
Must have been off Broadway.
Yeah, off. But it was off Dort Highway is where it was. So so I did this play and I just loved it. I took to it instantly. I was always a performer. I was always the kid that was on. I was the class clown. It was always a thing I did, but it was never something that I knew I could do necessarily. Did this play, crushed it. It was great. And the teacher who her name was Pat Nelson. She had told my mom that she'd studied with Del Close, who was the founder of modern day improv, Second City and what we know of improv. And said that, listen, he's really good. This could work, you should do this. And my mom, young, eccentric, cool mom, she's like, all right. So she signed me up for this, competition thing, which they're illegal now. And for the record, if you're living in Western New York and you're hearing about these, pay a bunch of money and meet an agency, don't do them. Don't do them. But I did one because the back of the day they were common.
Yeah.
And and it just so happened that, that one did kind of work out. I met my first manager there. And I won the competition. There were 2,000 actors. I won the competition, met my first manager, and it was probably 6 months later I was living in LA.
That's awesome. But a competition is one thing, all right?
It wasn't a competition. It was pay a bunch of money, take these courses, meet managers.
Oh, okay.
But I was good enough to where the manager who was there kind of whatever. And now listen, that guy ended up being a scumbag way later in life. Sure. He's not my manager now. My manager now is my best friend and
awesome.
He's my best man at my wedding. I mean, this guy's my right-hand man.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't always on the up and up, but listen, he got me started. He started the ball rolling and that's what it was. And so, but my mom was crazy enough to be like, all right, if this guy thinks you can do it. Well, it was a little different. I auditioned for this movie right away. This manager got me this audition for this movie called Rebound with Martin Lawrence. And I'd made a self-tape, never done a self-tape. In fact,
What year was that?
I mean, I was 14, maybe 13, 14, so whatever that is. Yeah. And so so much so that I was reading the stage direction in the audition because I didn't know that's not what you're supposed to do.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we sent the tape in, but it didn't matter. I ended up getting the part. And so they were like, we're going to fly you to LA. You're going to be in this movie. And I'm like, holy shit. And then what happened was there was something with budget and flying me out and putting me up at the last minute. They were like,
sorry, kid.
Yeah, but it was Jane Jenkins and Janet Hershinger were the casting directors, and they're huge. I mean, they've cast everything. And so Jane Jenkins called my mom and was like, hey, he's the real deal. Like, you should really consider this. Like, this was a role that everyone auditioned for, and like, he was the guy, even with no experience. You should really consider it. My mom was like, done. Yep. Like, you know what I mean? So we sold the house, like, got rid of all of our stuff, just got in a car and drove out to LA.
You have the coolest mom ever.
Yeah, she's pretty sick. She's pretty sick, yeah. Wow. And then,
whose mother does that?
I mean, a lot of actors' mothers do it, but not like mine did. Mine was just like, let's go.
Sell the house.
And we were lucky too. My grandfather was very generous, and like, he sort of like bankrolled the thing for the first couple of years, because it's not easy to do. Mm-hmm. And so she
has the coolest dad ever.
Yeah, for real. And so so that's how it all started. And then it started happening pretty quick. And then at 17, I was kind of living on my own. At that point, my mom had moved back to Michigan. Because she was cool. She understood, like, hey, listen, like, he's in this industry now. He's kind of on his own. He's doing his thing. And granted, I was a normal 17-year-old kid, so I probably wasn't the easiest person to be around. But, it was kind of time. Like, it was kind of time for me to, like, take on, LA years, you age quicker. Yeah. So then it was off to the races from there, man. Good, bad, and everything in between. And
so at 17, you're living alone in LA.
Yeah.
You got your own place.
Yeah. Making good money. I'm on Disney Channel, and I have things were pretty decent.
Wow.
And
so no chaperones, no nothing.
No, and you couldn't get away with that stuff now. Like, I was able to pull a couple fast ones, like, back then with like studio teachers and because I was 17 filming the movie College. And that was on location in Louisiana, and like, I was by myself, and like, they were like, "Where's his guardian?" I'm like, "I don't need one. I got this thing." Yeah. And they just didn't.
This waiver.
I just like sold it, and it kind of worked out. Dude, but you could never do that now.
You were a hustler.
I was hustling. Yeah, I was just out there getting it done. It wasn't even so much a hustle. I just had like unwaverable faith that I was just unstoppable, almost to a fault, because then when I realized I am stoppable, it was a really hard transition. Sure. There was a good chunk of time in my career. I got really sick, really sick. I had to like leave a show that I was on. It was my first like series regular job. I got sick during the pilot, and I was hospitalized. It was a pretty serious thing. And so after that happened, I was out of work for 9 months. I was with the ICM, which at the time was the biggest agency in the game. They dropped me because I couldn't work. So it just... So
this was your stoppable moment.
This was one of several that came throughout the years. But this was the first one where it was like, all right, dude, like, you need to... And it was cool because then it kind of gave me time to reassess my art form, too. Like, if you go back and watch some of the stuff I do when I'm younger, I'm just doing a Chris Farley impression, really. Really? Like, that's really what I'm doing. Okay. And it works when you're 17, 15, 16. Like, it kind of works. But as I was getting older, I was like, man, I want to do this differently. Like, I started at that point is when I started to appreciate the craft of filmmaking more, and I started appreciating and recognizing what it is that I love to do. It wasn't necessarily being an actor. It was being in this environment and doing this thing. And that's when that started. And so, then you just kind of, you go through the ups and downs, you make mistakes, you make the right choices, you go to dark places, you go to light places, and then next thing you know, you're 35, you got an 8-month, and you're living in Buffalo, changing the world,
Just like that.
Yeah, boom, in the blink of an eye, dude.
Yeah. That's everybody's story.
Yeah, it's tale as old as time. You've heard it once, you've heard it a million times.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah. So, okay, how in the hell did you get the Matrix then? It was another one of those
just another audition. I mean, just one of many that come in. And it wasn't labeled The Matrix. It was called Project Ice Cream, right? Yeah. But so I got the sides, and they're very vague, and like, but I kind of figured it out. Yeah. Like, because I'm a big Matrix fan, I was like, this is The Matrix. Yeah. So for my audition tape that I did, I would write subliminal messaging on my T-shirts. Like, in this, I have this weird like thing where I can like write words that look like an image sort of thing. So you can't really tell what you're looking at. It looks very abstract, but if you look closely, you can see a word written. So I wrote on the T-shirt, I was like, book me. And then like the next I had to do another audition, I booked like, I'm right here, and like so I did that for all my meetings.
Hilarious.
Because I knew who the director was, and like that's one of the things I talk to my students about all the time. It's like, know the optics, man. Like, know what you look like, know what they look like know what people see and think and feel before you. Like, that's how you do this the right way. So I knew I had Lana Wachowski, who's eccentric and created The Matrix and has all these. So I was like, I'm going to do something that is going to stand out. And so I couldn't even tell you, I probably didn't have the best tape, but because I made sure that I had the most interesting one, I moved forward, and then I got to go in the room, and then I booked the job. Wow, and like that is the secret that I work with.
So who did they bring you in the room with?
So, well, first it was a tape, and then they had me go into the casting office, the casting director, and just talk. for like
Okay.
an hour.
Okay.
Because
Just like shoot the shit like this?
kind of pretty much, yeah, and like see what I was all about. And then there was a video camera in the room, so Lana was watching. She was in San Francisco. And then a couple days later, the story's really good actually. A couple days later, I get a call that says, "Hey, Lana wants you to fly to San Francisco. She wants to meet you and talk about this role in The Matrix." Because originally this role was significantly larger. A lot of this, as it happens in film all the time, a lot of it got cut down. You know,
Snip.
which was tough. Another humbling moment in my life for sure. But so they're gonna fly me to San Francisco. Well, I lived in an area in LA where there was a lot of fires, and so a fire had broken out the night before, and the car couldn't pick me up at my house at like 5 a.m. to get me to San Francisco in time for my meeting. I was gonna miss my flight. So I'm talking to the driver. I'm like, dude, I have to get to San Francisco today by 2:00, or else like this is everything. Yeah. This is the biggest moment of my life. He's like, sorry, man, there's nothing I can do. So I hopped in my car and I drove 9 hours from Los Angeles to San Francisco to audition for Lana in a hotel room at the Fairmont Hotel. Took like 3 hours in the room with her. Turned around, got in my car, drove all the way back to LA.
Same day.
Jeez. Yeah,
that's 18 hours on the road.
Yeah. And I didn't have two nickels to rub together at the time. So like I wasn't booking a room.
Yeah.
I just turned around, drove all the way back.
Yeah. I've done that to New York, and I've slept in my car on the way back. It's part of the game. Because like I can't drive back.
That's what I mean too, and not to keep like jumping back to these classes, but that is my whole universe right now. Like another thing I talk about, it's like, you know, there's so many teachers throughout the years and methods and approaches that actors have convinced themselves now that in order to be an actor, you got to like pay in blood. Yeah. You know, you got to really grind out your craft, and you do, you know, and it's this emotionally grueling experience where you have to overwork and rehearse and stuff. And like, I'll tell you, man, that is a method a lot of people use, and a lot of people say that works. With my experience in doing film and television, there's a whole nother approach to it that takes that equation out of it. That makes it more personal and more expressive and more fun and more free without sacrificing the work ethic. You know, the paying in blood element of our industry comes when you're in the business part of it. That's the part where it's like, yeah, get in your car and drive 9 hours and like go do that. Or like, yeah, like, you know, do 50 student films where you're getting paid nothing, but you're just getting the reps, and go to auditions for things that are not like, that's the pay in blood. The craft itself should feel good. And nothing hurts me. Nothing hurts me more than when I meet these actors that feel like they got to put themselves through absolute hell.
Right.
You know, it's like there's a easier, more natural and fluid way to do this that translates so much better on camera.
That's a great message too, because the industry itself is hell.
Yeah.
and you got to pay in blood doing all the other stuff. But as far as your craft goes, you should love it. You should enjoy it. You should feel good about it. I like that message.
You only get it for a little bit of time. You know what I mean? Like that's all you get. And so that's just another thing that I sort of, why I'm so excited about what I'm doing here and the actors I'm working with, because I'm seeing these people come in just starving, you know, like they've been beating themselves up for years trying to master this craft, and they know that there's this big change coming in their community where they're going to have these opportunities, and to be able to go, hey, relax. Like, you should love doing this. You should feel so good. People leave my class. I got this one kid, Daniel, he's like my favorite. And he's like a grip guy, works at an arcade, but he just loves it, dude. He wants to act, and he loves it, you know? So he comes every week, and he said to me, he's like, buddy, I got to tell you, every time I leave here, I feel like I left a fucking rock concert. And I'm like, me too, dude. Like when this class is over, man, I am so jacked up and full of energy and pride. And so are the students, man. I mean, we started in December, and we started with 7
2023.
people. Yeah. We started with 7 people in December. We now have 40 students and a waiting list to get into one of the classes, and growing every week. I mean, I told you earlier, and that's
a great size too.
It's a great size.
And I'm glad that you cap it at 20.
20.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets a personalized experience.
Exactly.
Like I'm trying to teach you. I'm not teaching you how to act. You know, like I'm teaching you how to do this professionally. Like to do this so that you can do it under any circumstances and any conditions, and so that you are comfortable in your craft, in this art form that you have now worked through.
That's right.
So in order to teach that, I have to have individual time with every single person, and like everybody gets to go up in my class. Everyone, even if you audit, you go up. Because if you don't, then what's the point? If you come check out my class for free, which people are always more than welcome to do, you're going to go up, because when you go up and you drop in and you feel that and you realize everything that you've ever loved about this is as easy as just putting this forward, you live for it. It's the most.
Well, wait a minute.
feeling
I
in the world.
audited your class, and
You left early.
I wasn't asked to go on.
You left early. Remember?
I did.
It's auditors always go last.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I put them up with. I'll put them up with like one of the same like 4 or 5 people in my class.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, it happens every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time you'll see somebody who's like, I don't know, I've never had a woman the other day come in. And she was incredible, and she's been through a lot lately. I mean, you could just she talked about it with me pretty openly, but even before she said, you could just tell, like, man, this woman is really struggling. She was messaging me on Facebook too, like, man, I really like, I need this, like, I need a place where I can go and it can be about me and I can express myself and maybe just build some. I just haven't gone through so much, and I said, well, come. So she comes and she experiences it and the camaraderie. I mean, you see how the students are in there. Like, they know where they are. They know what they're getting. Yeah. Like, they know that they're sharing this thing together. And so...
Yeah, there's an incredible energy there.
Incredible,
and,
man.
Yeah, I mean, not everyone knows everyone, but it feels like everyone has worked with each other for years and years and years. It just...
Yeah, because they've all experienced this thing together. It's like if you ever did, like if you ever with like at a party or you're ever hanging out with like a buddy and you like trip acid or something, you're bonded. You know what I mean? Like you've done something with somebody.
But
whatever. I said acid because that's like one of the things I haven't done. So I wanted to seem like that. But no.
Because I was about to ask you about your latest acid trip.
Yeah. No, acid, not for me.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. But it's a bonding experience. Like when you have this thing and you experience, and the only way I can describe it is by having people come in and do it. Because I try to explain it, and it's so funny when I have new students. They're like, "What do you?" And then I look at the old students, and they're just smiling, like, "Man, these people have no idea what they're in for. Like, it's coming." Yeah. And once you have it, you're bonded with the people you've had it with. I keep saying, I know it's corny, but it's like it's not a class; it's a movement. Because the product of this is all these auditions that are coming in now through Buffalo, and even the smaller films to the bigger ones. All of my students are booking those things.
That's great.
All of them.
That's great.
Unless I'm mistaken and someone hasn't spoken up or whatever, and I had some students, they're like, what are Actors Access? And now they're on it and they're auditioning and they're booking. And this has been in 3 months. Good. And unless I'm mistaken, I have 100% booking ratio in my class. Now, I don't mean they've booked 100% of things they've auditioned for, but every student that has started taking my class, whether they've been doing it for years or just wanted to come meet me because I was on Hannah Montana, they're booking jobs. All of them, every one of them.
Good.
And it's like, what else do you like? What other, what other validation do you need?
Do people want to meet you because you're on?
For sure. Yeah, there's been a couple people at first where when they come in.
Do you do conventions?
No.
Hannah Montana conventions?
No. I'll be honest with you. There was a point in time where I had like a couple missing car payments and I was like, I'll go to one of those conventions. I'm in, dude. Like, I'll do it, but just never panned out. Never happened. I'm not above it.
Maybe we can reach out to someone if
I'm not above
listening.
It, dude. I'll do it all
I don't
day.
blame you.
But yeah, there are some students, and I kind of got out of the way at the beginning too. Like the second or third class, I think the first class, I usually start it with like my big spiel, kind of explaining what I explain. And then I'll say like, and listen, like, I know that there's probably a lot of you in here that have seen me and stuff. And like, you think that's super exciting. And like I was like, let's,
people,
I know
please, come on.
But, and as funny as that is if you do it in a genuine way, it's not so douchey. And I am doing it in a genuine way. I'm like, look, I get it. Like you've probably never seen somebody that you've seen on TV other than maybe like a Buffalo Bill at Prohibition or something. So I get that right out of the way. I'm like, listen, let's just like, if you got any questions, like if you loved like Cloud 9, a Disney movie, ask any questions you want. I'll answer the questions. We'll talk for a second. And like within 15 minutes, you'll get over it. Yeah. And we're going to get down to the fun stuff, you know? And so that's kind of how it works. And so, there have been some people that I can tell, because like I can tell when someone's like someone's
weird and starstruck. Well, it's
not even weird. It's just I've been dealing with it for so long, mainly because of Disney and Nickelodeon and things like that. That like I can see it coming from a mile away. And it's, not that it's weird. I totally understand the mentality, especially for someone who's like, I'm in this dude's acting class right now. I used to watch him as a kid. Yeah. So like I understand and I empathize completely, and like I just want you to feel comfortable, and like I want you to know that I get it. Like I know it's sweet. And like now I'm here doing this, so let's just get that out of the way.
No, I had no idea that was something that happened in your life.
It happens quite a bit, especially with like younger people.
Pretty darn cool.
Yeah. The cool thing about it is when I first started doing Disney Channel, it was like Hannah Montana and things like that. That was years and years ago. And then I did like Good Luck Charlie about halfway through that. And then now I was doing like Henry Danger just in my 30s.
Yeah.
And so what's cool now is I'll have a kid walk up to me and recognize me from Henry Danger. And their mom will recognize me from Hannah Montana when she was a kid. And so I'm like, I got 2 generations of fan
That's
bases
great,
here.
man.
That's why I say, dude, don't ever knock the Disney Channel. Like,
No, of course.
I mean, that gave me generational fan bases that have been with me
great.
forever. So
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah. Raina's a fan.
Dude, I love her.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's a fan.
She's great.
Yeah, she's
She's a good
readjusting
girl.
right now.
She's all right.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, so as I mentioned, I did audit your class, and it, I didn't know what to expect going in. I didn't know much about you. I IMDb'd you and saw everything that you were in. Very impressive. And again, didn't know what to expect. So I went in with an open mind, and I really respected your approach. I love the way that you interact with each student and the class as a whole. And coming from a teacher myself for 20 years, knowing how to engage people, how to reach people, how to reach unreachable people, your approaches are such that everyone is constantly engaged, and that is so important. I mean, to keep everyone's attention. I mean, you do have people that really want to be there, but I was hanging on not only your every word, but the performances that were going on in front of me, and the energy and the attitude of everyone in there was so positive and supportive. Like, I want this person on stage right now to succeed, and I'm here to help and support. Even if I'm not saying anything, I'm here mentally giving you great energy, and that was coming from everyone.
Yeah.
And it was incredible, the environment that you've cultivated.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. You nailed it, man. It's the most supportive room in the world.
Yeah.
It's the safest place in the world.
Yeah. Because how vulnerable do you feel in front of a class like
especially
that?
doing the things that we do.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I really get you to find the root of what you're actually feeling here.
Yes.
And peeling back layers, like, when you do that, and you will do it. Like, there are people that probably think like, oh, I don't know if I'm capable. You are.
Yeah.
Because I've had people come in there like, I've never done any of this, and like the most cold people in the world, and 15 minutes later they're like,
yeah.
Like, it happens.
Yeah. Well, class for me was like a breakthrough. Like, I became an entirely different person for the better. It really improved everything in my life, my personality, my intelligence. Like, I was looking at things from different perspectives, different points of view. I had, emotional breakthroughs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, acting class in general,
Sure. I had this girl who came in. She's young. She's 16, and that's kind of the youngest we take in the class.
Sure.
We have a kids class, and the kids class is sick too, but it's a totally different vibe.
Sure,
but it's just as sick, and it's just getting better.
That's great.
The kids class is like really coming into its own, and the kids class is a lot of fun. But it's just a different scene. It's a totally different vibe, Yeah. But I had this girl come in. She's 16, and when she first came in, again, it's what I do involves reading people deeply, quickly, and I have to be right, because if I'm not, I could send them on the wrong emotional journey.
Sure.
So she walks in, and I just see this like very like withdrawn, very shy girl who you could tell it took everything for her to be there. You could just tell, especially since now my class has sort of become a little intimidating. I think some people see the social media stuff, they see and they hear what's going on at the studio, and they get intimidated by it, not realizing like, it's a soft pillow. Like, sure. It's like you're supposed to be there, Anyway, so she could just tell. And she was really, really quiet and really reserved and very textbook in her acting, and And so I got her up there, and I was peeling back the layers, and finally I was like, there it is. She's got this really quirky personality, and you couldn't see it before. But we saw it. It came through.
Yeah.
And everybody, you can tell when it happens in class because the whole room will shift.
Yeah.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
And she has this thing, and so she does the rest of her scene, and it's incredible. It's honest. It's real. It's very weird. Like, no one else would ever do what she does because it's only her. Hi. And so she sat down, And I was like, there it was. That's the thing. That's where all of your performance comes from, that place, because that's who you are. That's how you know you'll never have an audition like anyone else. If you play everything through that speaker, that's what it comes out of.
That's great.
Bro, she went from this, like, I'd say, you know, how was your week? Oh, it was good. I haven't really had any auditions or anything, but like I'm out there. And by the end of class, she was like, I just want to say that I feel so much more empowered and like I get it now. Like I feel like, and I mean, it was like within 25 minutes, I kept thinking to myself, her mom's going to shit herself when this little girl comes home. And it's like, hello, mother.
Yeah.
Class was
like,
wonderful.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
dude, it was a totally different person.
Yeah,
and like her and everyone else has had that.
Yeah. That's incredible. Raina,
She's not bothering me.
I know that, you know, you're very interested in what's going on, but yes.
She's like, I want to take the class.
You need to lay down. Yeah.
And to me, it's bigger than the class. You know, like one of the things I say all the time is like, I want to help lay the foundation for this film industry out here. I'm so thrilled that that's happening. And I think it's so cosmic that like the thing I love the most is the thing that's like right here, right now happening that I can really like get involved in. And like, I live here now, man. Like I'm not visiting. Yeah. Like I'm raising my family here. Like I'm home.
This
dude.
is it.
Like this is my home. And like, if there's going to be a film industry here, like I want to do my part to make sure that it's the best that it can possibly be.
Yeah.
And that is in every way, shape, and form humanly possible. If that means I got to show up on set and bring pizza for people, I'll do it. Because I want to make sure that when Western New York starts being that hub in the next few months, these production companies come here and they're like, holy shit, it is amazing. Because it is. Like, this is the last great American filmmaking town, if it's done right.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is going to go big budget AI studio stuff where it looks like 100 million and it's 30.
Yeah.
Atlanta is owned by the studios, Hulu, Netflix, they're all down there. Where are people going to go to make blue collar films?
That's right.
Right here, baby.
Yeah.
And like there's no better place to do it. I've been in this
Exactly.
community now. I've
Old
met
school.
the people here. Like this is the people this is blue collar American filmmaking. And there isn't one director worth his weight in piss that wouldn't want to be here doing
That's
that.
right. Yeah.
And so we got to make sure that when they start coming here, they see that.
Exactly.
You know,
and we already have some great big directors that come here.
Yes.
And they notice what's going on and they know the potential of the area and they've come back.
Yeah, and they will keep coming back. And when the studios come and the precipice that we need to happen here in Western New York, and it takes time, and that's fine. But this is, to me, when I'm an old man and I'm laying on my deathbed, I want to say that this is what was accomplished here. Because in Atlanta, the reason why Atlanta is working so well, now mind you, I've been in this business a long time. So I remember when Atlanta first started doing films
I remember.
to where they are now.
Yeah.
The reason why Atlanta is doing so well is because Atlanta has a standalone industry now. With or without LA coming to Atlanta, they're making their own stuff. Yeah. There's distribution companies, there's agencies, there's a whole economy, its own film industry that exists without LA.
Right.
When LA comes, it's a nice little boost, but they got their own thing going. That has to happen here, and it has to happen perfectly.
Yeah.
Atlanta made no mistakes. Detroit made a lot of mistakes and they lost their film.
Oh,
they
okay.
lost their film commission because they didn't do it right. The wrong people were in the right places. And if I'm going to raise my family here and I'm going to dive full into this industry and help these actors and work with these people and make this my new thing, like I'm going to work to death to make sure that like we get that here because the city deserves it. I live here now. I'm not from here. It's not in my blood. I'm not a Bills fan necessarily.
Not yet.
You know, I'm a Lions fan. I love the Bills, but I'm a Lions fan. So, but this is my home, dude. And like this home happens to embrace me and the industry that I love so much. I'm all in.
We don't mind that you're a Lions fan because they're not really a threat.
Not at all. We're cousins. The Lions and the Bills are cousins, dude. We live next door.
Exactly.
If you guys get too cold, you come over here. You get snowed out. Like there's no problem.
Yeah.
No issue.
Yeah, we'll use the dome.
And anytime you want, anytime you guys want, come on into the dome, dude. No problem. We love the Bills.
I marched in a halftime show at the Silver Dome.
Oh, the Silver Dome.
Back in the day.
Nice. Yeah, Silver Dome. Beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
Beautiful stadium. But this is what I'm doing here, man.
Good.
And I couldn't appreciate. I know you got a heart out.
Yeah.
He's checking his watch. I don't know if you noticed, but I appreciate. We were going to do this sooner. We were going to meet up sooner, and I'm glad we waited. Like, I'm glad
Definitely.
that it came.
I'm glad that I
came
was
to the
able
class
to come to the class. Yeah.
I really appreciate you having me on. I will come back anytime.
Yes,
you want.
I
This
need
has
you
been
back.
Great.
Yeah,
anytime
we need to
you
talk
want.
more. Yeah,
sure. And I appreciate it. And to all the, I have a lot of respect for what you're doing, man. Because when I got here, I had to hit the ground running and figure out the what's what and the who's and how what's working, what isn't working.
Right.
And you're one of those people that kept consistently coming up as like the guy putting in the good work. And doing it the right way and having the right vision, and people depend on you and the credibility you give or don't, and you have a lot of responsibility out here, and you've handled it very well, and I'm very happy that we got to do this.
Definitely.
And I want to continue building this thing with you. We're all in this together.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah,
we've got to raise each other up, and thanks for doing this. I really appreciate
Anytime,
it.
dude.
We
I had a
definitely
blast.
have to do it again because we have so much more to talk about.
Oh yeah, we could do this for hours and hours and hours, man. But anytime you want, buddy, I'm around.
Before we go, make sure to give all of your social media stuff.
Right. So I mean, listen, follow the studio. That's where I have my personal Instagram and stuff. It's at Andrew Lewis Caldwell. That's cool too. But get on the studio. It's at ALC Acting Studios on Instagram and Facebook. We're constantly putting up content. One of the things I like to do for my students is I try to get videos of them up there working, and I have a lot of people in LA who help me out with music, like real big producers.
Very cool.
So I like to create content for my students that they can kind of see and have. And
you've got great content.
Yeah,
on
it's been
too,
fun, man. Yeah, so check out the Instagram and message, man. Like
if someone wants to join the class or be on the waiting list, what do they do?
Yeah, so you can email us at alcactingstudio@gmail.com, or if you go on the social medias, there's a link in the bio.
Good.
We're doing a Thursday night class. It's wide open. It's for new people. It's not for beginners. That's not what I mean. I just mean people who haven't learned the lingo yet. I have people now that have been doing this 3-4 months. They're ready to start, doing other stuff. I need a week. I need a month with the people who haven't taken it yet to sort of figure out what it's all about, and then we move on. So we have a Thursday class coming up. We got a little bit of room in Saturday.
Okay.
A little bit of room, but Thursday nights, that's where we're going to be. So hit us up. We'd absolutely love to have you. And if you don't believe me, just come check it out for free and see it, because you'll be there.
Awesome. Andrew, thanks so much.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it, man. Absolutely.